You're welcome to the news at 3 and now the headlines. A Rivers State government resolute to strengthen health system. Federal government releases 32.9 billion naira to boost primary health care. Police arrest former presidential candidate activist Omoyele Sowore. Good afternoon, my name is Ebere Inda and this is the news at 3 on Rstv. Do you love and care about Rivers State and a peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. And now the news. Rivers State government says it remains committed to strengthening the healthcare through robust policies, strategic investment, and people-centered approach. Rivers State Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu made this assertion while speaking as a special guest at the 2025 Physicians Week, organized by the Rivers State branch of Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, at the NMA House in Port Harcourt. Obiando Madme reports.
The Deputy Governor commended the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, for choosing a timely and impactful theme for its conference. Healthcare as a value chain, building efficiency from policy to patients. Professor Odu noted that in today's rapidly evolving world, healthcare should not be seen as an isolated service, but as a comprehensive value chain involving governance, infrastructure, technology, ethics, and critical human resources. She emphasized that the theme underscores the urgent need for a more integrated and responsive healthcare system that aligns visionary policies with practical implementation, keeping the patient at the heart of every decision.
This theme speaks directly to the urgent need for a more integrated, responsive healthcare system, one that aligns visionary policy with practical implementation, putting the patient at the heart of every decision. In today's rapidly evolving world, we must recognize that healthcare is not an isolated service, but it is a comprehensive value chain involving governance, infrastructure, technology, ethics, and of course, the critical human resources, the physician.
Chairman of the occasion, Dr. Samson Parker, warned that no health policy can succeed if doctors implementing it are overworked or uninspired, stressing the importance of supporting medical professionals for sustainable healthcare delivery. Also speaking, Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Rivers State Branch, Dr. Tamunokoro Ezekiel, appreciated Governor Siminalayi Fubara for approving the payment of outstanding salaries to newly employed doctors and for the administration's massive infrastructural investment in the health sector. Dr. Ezekiel disclosed that within the last 12 months, the NMA has provided free medical services to over 100,000 residents across 8 local government areas of the state. He further highlighted the success of the association's anti-quackery campaign, which led to the closure of several substandard health facilities operating below acceptable standards in Rivers State. Obiando Madume, Rstv News.
Rivers State Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu has joined other people of goodwill across the globe to felicitate the founder and presiding pastor of Salvation Ministries, Pastor David Ibiomie, as he celebrates his 63rd birthday. Professor Odu, who described Pastor David Ibiomie as a great exponent of the undiluted gospel, who has led countless souls to Christ over the years, said he is a gift to Rivers State. She noted that Rivers State is blessed through a great man of God like Pastor David Ibiomie and prayed God to grant him more wisdom. The federal government has approved and released 32.9 billion naira through the Basic Health Care Provision Fund, marking the third round of disbursement in 2025. The Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Mohammed Pate, announced this in a statement titled The Red Letter, urging citizens to actively participate in ensuring the funds are used effectively. The funds are intended to strengthen primary health care across the country by providing basic health services, strengthening primary care, and allocating resources for emergency treatments. And now the former presidential candidate and activist Omoyele Sowore has been whisked away from the presence of the Federal High Court in Abuja by armed policemen shortly after he made appearance for the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Sowore, who is a frontline agitator for Kanu's release from detention, was on Thursday accosted by the security operatives, who insisted he must move with them to the Federal Capital Territory FCT Police Command. The officers explained that they were executing an order from the Commissioner of Police, even though he queried the absence of a letter of invitation to him. Sowore, who maintained that his lawyer must accompany him, was taken away in a police van. Police, in the first information report FIR, it's filed before a chief magistrate court at Kuje, alleged that the defendant, during the hashtag Free Nnamdi Kanu protest, which it said was held in disobedience to a court order, chanted war songs while disrupting the free flow of traffic. Troops of Operation Hadinkai, OPHK, have killed more than 50 terrorists and repelled multiple coordinated attacks on military positions in Borno and Yobe State. The simultaneous assault occurred between midnight and 4 a.m. on Thursday when terrorists targeted troops' positions in Dikwa, Mafa, Dagibo, and Katako, all within sectors 1 and 2 of the Joint Operations Area. The Media Information Officer of the Joint Task Force Northeast, OPHK, Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba, said in a statement in Maiduguri that the troops fought gallantly and professionally, inflicting heavy losses on the insurgents. He said coordinated ground and air operations, supported by precision strikes from the air component of OPHK, led to the neutralization of more than 50 terrorists across the affected area. According to him, the troops recovered 38 AK-47 rifles, 7 PKT machines, 5 RPG tubes, 2 GPMGs, hand grenades, and thousands of assorted rounds of ammunition following the clashes. Intelligence reports indicated that the attackers who stormed Dikwa and Gajibo advanced from the Cameroon axis, while those who attacked Katanko came from the Timbuktu Triangle, a notorious terrorist enclave. Do you love and care about Rivers State in a peace? Let's build and take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. Still ahead on the news, at least 40 migrants, including children, have died after their boat sank off the coast of Tunisia. In sports, Victor Osimhen's Braves and Galatasaray a 3-1 win over Bodo Glimt in the UEFA Champions League. These and more will come your way when we return from the break. Do stay.
Corruption not in my country.
It is well with you, my son.
Amen.
Remember the child of who you are. You will meet people who will tell you to take shortcuts. They will tell you everybody is doing it. They will tell you that you don't have 10 heads.
You will tell them that your head is cuckoo as big as 10 heads.
They will tell you that connection is the poor man's language for corruption. Connection, no. Corruption, no. Shall not in your country.
Not in your country.
You will tell them that the poor people are the ones who sent you there. That we are the real connection.
See, like Mama's hand, we connect to your face if you join bad gang.
Not true. We no go comot our eyes sake of say you be our pikin and let other people suffer for nothing. Be a good example.
Take whistle. Learn how to blow your whistle.
Do good. Bring it home. Oh yeah. Stand up. Good to go?
Good to go.
This message is brought to you by the Akinfade Foundation, with support from the MacArthur Foundation and with broadcast support from the Rivers State Television.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
You're welcome back. And now to one of the top stories. At least 40 migrants, including children, have died after their boat sank off the coast of Tunisia in one of the deadliest maritime disasters in the region this year, authorities say. The boat sank off the Mediterranean port of Mahdia in central Tunisia while carrying about 40 migrants. All the people on board were from sub-Saharan Africa, the official added, without providing further details. This is the latest disaster to hit migrants trying to cross the Mediterranean from Africa to Europe. About 30 migrants were rescued in the latest disaster, which occurred on Wednesday. Tunisian authorities have opened an investigation into the causes and circumstances surrounding the boat sinking. The country is facing growing pressure to manage migrants fleeing conflict and poverty in search of better opportunities in Europe. The sea migration route between Africa and Europe is one of the most dangerous in the world. And now Russian attack overnight and into the early hours of Thursday killed one rescue worker in Ukraine, disrupted train services, and damaged a synagogue. Ukrainian. Russia's defense ministry said it shot down 139 Ukrainian drones overnight, mostly over western region bordering Ukraine. The emergency services said the rescue worker was killed and 5 others were wounded, putting out a fire during a repeat Russian attack on the village of Zeleny Gai in the eastern Kyiv region. In Kyiv, 8 people were wounded, city officials said, while the foreign ministry announced a synagogue had been damaged during the attack on 3 districts of the city. According to the statement, 640 places of worship and 67 religious leaders had been killed since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. In the eastern Sumy region, officials said 2 railway workers were wounded, while the state train operator said services were disrupted in the border region. The governor of the Rstv region, southeast of Moscow, reported a fire at an industrial site after unverified images on social media showed a large flame at an oil refinery there. And now China has said it opposes recent sanctions slapped by the United States on the 2 largest Russian oil companies over Moscow's war in Ukraine. President Donald Trump announced the measure after plans for a fresh summit with Vladimir Putin collapsed, complaining that talks with his counterpart don't go anywhere. China, a major Russian trading partner, he said, it takes a neutral stance on the war and has refrained from condemning Moscow's 2022 full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Asked about the new U.S. sanctions at a daily press conference in Beijing, Foreign Ministry spokesman Bo Jekun said China consistently opposes unilateral sanctions that have no basis in international law and are not authorized by the United Nations Security Council. And now on entertainment, gospel singer Moses Blaze has organized a birthday celebration for his mother, marking the first time in her life she was honored this way. Precious Debom tells us more.
The milestone event, which brought the artist to tears, addressed the fact that his mother's exact birthday has never been known, leading Bliss to designate a special day to celebrate her. In a post, Bliss described his mother's long-life selflessness, noting that she had never prioritized her own birthday, focusing instead on pouring love and care to others. Moses Bliss said her revelation that she had forgotten about celebrating birthdays struck a chord with him, expressing profound gratitude for her sacrifices, faith, and unwavering love. He described witnessing her joy and receiving love as one of the most moving experiences of his life, calling her a divine gift. Nigerian disc jockey and billionaire heiress Florence Otedola, popularly known as DJ Cuppy, has reflected on her return to London after attending her sister Temi Otedola's wedding to Afrobeat singer Mr. Easy. In a video circulating online, DJ Cuppy spoke about the challenges of transitioning back to normal life after the excitement of her sister's wedding. Reports that the event took place across 3 countries, including Monaco, Dubai, and Iceland. The White Wedding, which took place in Iceland, featured a performance by American singer John Legend and was published in Vogue magazine. Nigerian singer Abiola Ahmed Akinbiyi, popularly known as Bella Shmurda, has expressed concern over the rising cost of music promotion. He lamented that a lot of artists are now skeptical about releasing new music, especially album, due to the development. Speaking in a recent interview with Niger FM Lagos, the Cash app, Krona explained that shooting a music video is now very expensive, with the lowest rates being 20 million. He stated many artists cannot afford music promotion fee, especially for album. Precious Debom, Rstv Entertainment News.
Thank you very much, Precious. And from the sports desk, Victor Osimhen Brace and Galatasaray a 3-1 win over Bodo Glimt in the UEFA Champions League on Wednesday, with the Turkish side recording back-to-back European victories, having won just one of their previous 18-man draw matches. Godfrey Lulubarang tells us more.
An already vociferous home crowd at Rams Park was given reasons to erupt just 3 minutes into proceeding, while Mario Lemina slid the ball through for Osimhen to beat Nketiah Hicken with a clinical finish. The intensity of Osimhen and the surroundings, with the striker getting his head onto Lerosani crosses but being denied by Hicken. Bodo Glimt eventually started to make forays forward of their own and had periods of possession that were met by whistles from the stands, although they still couldn't test Ogekan Kerka. Osimhen offered a reminder of his threats as he pounced with Odin Berhoft, failed to convincingly deal with Ismail Jacobs' cross, even if Hicken was equally allowed to stop his attempt. The goalkeeper was left completely helpless in the 33rd minute, though, as Osimhen assisted the gift of Lars Fredrik Andre Berhoft back pass by surrounding Hicken and sliding the ball into the empty net. Chances did arrive at the other end before the break as James Peter fired wide after Roland Salai had been disposed by Sandre Fett, who then hit the post from range. They were still given a huge warning moments later when Osimhen and Eunice Akon both passed up an opportunity to shoot before Sani was denied. The visitors finally got a goal of their own in the 76th minute with Andres Helmesen heading in Bayokan's cross. Even so, there was never any real doubt that Galatasaray will record its 21st win from their last 23 matches across all competitions, while continuing the emphatic response to their heavy defeat to the Eintracht Frankfurt on the opening day of the UCL League phase. With Wednesday brace, the former Napoli striker has now become the sole holder of the record, surpassing Wilmars, who has since retired and is now Gaziantep's manager. France Under-17 women's head coach Michael Ferreira has kind words for Nigeria despite his side's victory over the Flamingos. Les Bluelets scraped past Bankole Olewokere's side 1-0 in their second group game at the ongoing 2025 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup of Wednesday's night. Ferreira said they knew the Flamingos will make things difficult for them. Brazil legend Zico names Africa's greatest player of all time. France advanced to the knockout round following the win. The Flamingos must now beat Samoa in their last group game to have any chance of scaling through the group stage hurdle. Ajax manager John Hittiga has named Chelsea among the better teams in the UEFA Champions League. Hittiga spoke after the side were thrashing 5-1 by the Blues in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge on Wednesday. Record that goals from McGuire, Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Estavio and Tyreek George gave the Premier League West London club the victory against Ajax. Godfrey Barango, Rstv Sport News.
If you love and care about real estate and a peace, let's join hands to take her to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. You can watch Rstv News live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also click and hit the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. My name is Iberi Inda, and that's a wrap on the news at 3 today on Rstv. Good afternoon.